The Koch brothers had a get-together in Palm Springs, and they do this actually twice a year. They get together in places like Aspen, Palm Springs, obviously in super fancy hotels. With all their rich friends, they often invite politicians, commentators, people on Fox News, and by the way, Supreme Court justices, which is unbelievable. The Supreme Court justices are going to these incredibly political events. These are the same guys who ruled on Citizens United, saying that money will not corrupt politics, as they go to Palm Springs and talk about how to corrupt how to corrupt politics with money that their Koch brothers friends are spending on them. So the hypocrisy of those justices like Scalia are through the roof. So now this year, of course, they just got their ass handed to them in the 2012 election, so they're trying to figure out what went wrong. And the New York Times explains. The November elections had been a major setback for the cause of liberty, Mr. Koch told more than 200 guests, many of whom had pumped millions of dollars into the political operation founded by Mr. Koch and his brother David. Charles was the one speaking to the guests and saying, "Oh my God, we've been Koch blocked. I can't believe all of our money went to waste and that socialist Obama and the Democrats in the Senate won anyway." But as the New York Times explains, Charles Koch went on to say, but there would be no backing down, Mr. Koch said. According to some of those attending, they would learn from their mistakes, test new strategies in the coming months, and prepare for the 2014 elections with control of Congress once again at stake. See, that's what I tell you, man. Money is a river. It just keeps flowing and flowing, and these guys are never going to go away. They're going to come back in 2014, 2016, and on and on and on, because there's so much money to be made by lower taxes and lower regulation that no matter how much money they spend in politics and no matter how many elections they lose in a row, it still makes sense to spend more money to be able to get billions of dollars in tax breaks, as one of the examples. So they have a new strategy. Well, what is it? First, they say the brothers want their network to play a bigger role in cultivating and promoting Republican candidates who hew to their vision of conservatism, emphasizing smaller government and deregulation more than immigration and social issues. In other words, yeah, let's go get the Latino vote. Don't worry about immigration. I got tax breaks to get, man. Who cares? I know you hate Latinos. I hate them too, but I don't hate them enough for it to cost me a tax break, right? And then social issues, abortion, all I want is a deregulation so I can pollute the hell out of that place and not pay a single dollar for it. Go have the abortion, don't have the abortion, I don't care. Look, my pollution might cause the abortion in the first place. What do I care? Okay, just deregulate and give me lower taxes. So that's their new Koch strategy. Now, they're not done yet. They're, of course, going to fund a whole new set of attacks and disguised as ways to do reach out to different communities. Now, first thing they're going to do is technical. They're going to do a data and vote targeting machinery setup. So that they said Obama figured that out really well, and he registered more of his voters. We're going to figure out how to register more of our voters. But then they're going to set up Generation Opportunity. That's a group focused on young voters. In other words, we will try to brainwash the young into accidentally allowing us to pollute their rivers, their air, and giving us tax breaks while we take away funding from their education. But we're not done yet. We're also going to try to deceive Latinos with a group called Libre Initiative. Oh, it sounds Spanish. Nicely done. Well played. It's a Hispanic-oriented conservative group which will tell you, oh, man, you know, in your culture, you really ought to be conservative. Because you know what helps new immigrants struggling to get an opportunity in this country? Helping billionaires just a little more. Okay, so that's the new Koch strategy, the new grand plan for these billionaire conservative donors. But don't underestimate them. They're going to spend a tremendous amount of money doing that. And how do they win the elections in the first place? On the ones that they did, they outspend people. So they run all these ads to trick people into thinking, oh, yeah, look at that clean air initiative. In fact, the clean air initiative pollutes the environment, right? Clean skies, well, that sounds good. It's the exact opposite, but they do marketing and they spend a lot of money. So don't think that they might not be able to trick at least a certain percentage of the young Latinos, etc., to vote Republican and to give them more tax breaks by spending a tremendous amount of money on ads and marketing. It can happen, so be careful. They're still out there. The sharks are still in the water.